Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm here for the reading of the day. And sorry, I'm getting my little ruler so I can read. So I'm here for our Sunday reading from the Good News Bible. So I will do the reading and then we'll do a little discussion and just kind of cover the week past and we'll go from there. So let's begin with the reading where we left off. And we left off with God's covenant with Noah. God blessed Noah and his sons and said, "Have many children so that your descendants will live all over the earth. All the animals, birds, and fish will live in fear of you. They are all placed under your power. Now you can eat them as well as green plants. I give them all to you for food. The one thing you must not eat is meat with blood still in it. I forbid this because the life is in the blood. If anyone takes human life, he will be punished. I will punish with death any animal that takes a human life. Human beings were made like gods, so whoever murders one of them will be killed by someone else. You must have many children so that your descendants will live all over the earth." God said to Noah and his sons, "I am now making my covenant with you and with your descendants and with all living beings, all birds and all animals, everything that came out of the boat with you. With these words, I make my covenant with you. I promise that never again will all living beings be destroyed by a flood. Never again will a flood destroy the earth. As a sign of this everlasting covenant, which I am making with you and with all living beings, I am putting my bow in the clouds. It will be the sign of my covenant with the world. Whenever I cover the sky with clouds and rainbows appear, I will remember my promise to you and to all the animals that a flood will never again destroy all living beings. When the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between me and all living beings on earth. This is a sign of the promise which I am making to all living beings." Noah and his sons. The sons of Noah who went out the boat were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These three sons of Noah were the ancestors of all the people on earth. Noah, who was a farmer, was the first man to plant a vineyard. After he drank some of the wine, he became drunk, took off his clothes, and laid naked in the tent. When Ham, the father of Canaan, saw that his father was naked, he went out and told his brothers. Then Shem and Japheth took a robe and held it behind them on their shoulders. They walked backward into the tent and covered their father, keeping their faces turned away so as not to see him naked. When Noah sobered up and learned what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "A curse on Canaan. He will be a slave to his brothers. Give praise to the Lord, the God of Shem. Canaan will be the slave of Shem. May God cause Japheth to increase. May his descendants live with the people of Shem. Canaan will be the slave of Japheth." After the flood, Noah lived 350 years and died at the age of 950. So, let me put this all together here so I don't lose my trusty little ruler. Every time I read these, I try to come up with something that applies to what we're reading. And what I thought of there is sometimes, being a parent is really, really hard. And sometimes it's very, very joyful. And sometimes, there's so many emotions with being a parent. It's definitely worthwhile. I love my children. Like, I adore my children. There isn't much I wouldn't do for them. And I hope they know that. You know, as a parent, sometimes it's tough because we have to, you know, when they're young, growing up, we have to basically mold them into good people. And I think it's everybody's goal is to make their kids the best they can be, and to teach them what's right and wrong. And that doesn't mean that sometimes they go astray, or that there's, you know, children that, you know, even with all good intentions, you know, things happen. And I think it's like, you know, as the older kids get, the harder it gets. And in these times especially, my children are 33, 30, and 22. It's, especially for my 22-year-old, I think the two older ones probably were still in a time where things weren't too bad. But by the time she came along, because she's 8 years younger than my older daughter, and things are so much different in that 8-year span. It's incredible, you know. And so I'm really lucky that they're all decent human beings. I'm lucky that, you know, they haven't been influenced much by the outside, you know, things that go on in the world today. And that's not saying everybody's bad, or I'm not saying that. So, but it's a tough world to grow up kids in today. And if your children grow up to be good, decent human beings, you're really lucky. You've done really well, because it's a chore, and it's hard, and it's a lot of work, but it's well worth it in the end. You know, to see especially when they get older, that they're all good kids. You know, so I think that's pretty much what came to mind. And, you know, I think back when I was young, and I was a tough kid to grow up. I was the oldest, and I always felt like I had to, you know, I was always told that I had to set the example, and I think I resented that. And but yeah, when my sister came along, she was kind of like my little, you know, baby, and I toted her everywhere, because my mom wasn't 40 like I was when I had my daughter Juliana, and I was 43. And so I helped my mom, you know, I would help with her and take her places, and, you know, there was joy in that. I mean, I felt good about myself, that I was, you know, I was kind of like a little mom and stuff. But, you know, I had a lot of responsibility, being the oldest. And so I don't know if maybe part of me always wanted to rebel a little bit. I don't know. It was all silliness on my part, but, you know, I think it's just part of growing up. And, you know, I know that sometimes my mom, I don't know how she did it with me. Sometimes I look back now, and there was a day when I said to her, "Mom, I'm sorry." You know, you just got to say it, because it is what it is, you know. So, but, you know, life was so much different growing up back then. And I know that anybody around my age, I'm 65, anybody around my age knows that it was a different world. And it just, God, I wish my kids could have known that world, you know. I mean, I'm sure, you know, things went on and stuff like that, but the way it is today, yeah, you know, I just wish that, you know, they could have had a chance to live in that world. Wouldn't it be great if we could just like a time machine and just go back for a day, and, you know, and know what it's like to live in that time? I mean, maybe kids wouldn't like it today either. I don't know, you know, but, you know, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, you know, computers and things like that. We played outside, you know, till the lights went out. We just lived, you know, good kids' lives, you know. And so many kids today are, you know, they're just not trapped in the house because they're trapped in, but because they stay in, because they're in front of their computers and things like that. I don't know. There's so much, I mean, the way the world is today, I don't know, maybe it's a blessing for sometimes, because there's so many bad things going on. It's scary to even let your kids out the door. So there's a lot that made me think of. And, you know, it all surrounds my children and being a child, and, you know, it's tough, you know. So I think if we can just sometimes say a little prayer for the world today and for the kids in it, and, you know, they're going to need all the strength that they can get to get through these times. So, yeah. As you've noticed, I've been putting on another note. As you've noticed, I've been putting out some question of the day, and those questions are coming from my classes, my courses that I'm taking. They do, at the end of each chapter, it asks me, these questions, and you're supposed to discuss, if you're in a group. Clearly, I'm all by myself, so I can't talk to myself. That would be a little weird. So I thought it'd be a great idea to just put them on the page, and I don't put them all because they give you about 3 or 4 questions. So I kind of picked the one that I know will create at least the most discussion for us, because some of them you have to have actually seen the video to answer it. So I put the ones that I know we can discuss together, and that kind of helps me out. And I'm actually really enjoying these courses. At the end of each one, I do get a certificate. If anybody wants to do them or is interested in doing them, I just let you know they're on Ascension Press. And hi, buddy. They're on Ascension Press, and they're not expensive. I'm not paying a lot at all. I don't have that kind of money to do it. I think the one I'm doing right now was probably $8.99. I think $8.99 or $6.99. But I believe there's 20 chapters that I have to do, and at the end of it you get a certificate, and then you can do another one if you like, or whatever. So that's what I'm doing right now. I also found another page that's also doing that's a little more deep or a little more intense reading. But these right now are Father Mike's videos, and it covers different things. And then at the end of it, at the end of each one, you take a test. It's a few questions to see how much you got out of the video. So I feel good about that. This whole thing has brought me some peace since my mom died, and I think I needed it, and I think I needed to find my way back, because I think I might have been a little lost. So, full disclosure. I'm woman enough to admit it. I guess we all get lost once in a while, right? So, but I never strayed from my faith. My faith has still, no matter how down I've been, if I could explain to anybody what my faith means to me, or what it's done and how it's carried me, there's no words I think I could describe that. So I think I will end it here, because I try to keep it at 15 minutes. I don't want to take up your entire day or all your time, and I don't think you want to hear me go on and rambling. The light and the ruler are working out great for me. As you can tell, I was reading pretty, everything was going good. So anyway, happy Sunday. Have a great day. Enjoy it with family. Have a great week ahead. God bless you, and God bless your families, and God bless everyone. God bless America. Have a great day.